Lay forth out of thine everlasting scrine the antique rolls which there lie hidden still, of fairy knights and fairest Tanaquil, whom that most noble Briton prince so long sought through the world, and suffered so much ill, that I must rue his undeserved wrong. O help thou my weak wit, and sharpen my dull tongue. And thou, most dreaded imp of highest Jove, fair Venus' son, that with thy cruel dart at that good knight so cunningly didst rove, that glorious fire it kindled in his heart, lay now thy deadly Heban bow apart, and with thy mother mild come to mine aid. Come both, and with you bring triumphant Mart, in love's and gentle jollities arrayed, after his murderous spoils and bloody rage allayed. And with them eke, O goddess heavenly bright, mirror of grace and majesty divine, great lady of the greatest isle, whose light like Phoebus' lamp throughout the world does shine, shed thy fair beams into my feeble eyne, and raise my thoughts, too humble and too vile, to think of that true glorious type of thine, the argument of mine afflicted style, the which to hear vouchsafe, O dearest dread, awhile. Canto 1. The patron of true holiness foul error doth defeat. Hypocrisy him to entrap doth to his home entreat. Gentle knight was pricking on the plain, clad in mighty arms and silver shield, wherein old dints of deep wounds did remain, the cruel marks of many a bloody field. Yet arms till that time did he never wield. His angry steed did chide his foaming bit, as much disdaining to the curb to yield. Full jolly knight he seemed, and fair did sit, as one for knightly jousts and fierce encounters fit. But on his breast a bloody cross he bore, the dear remembrance of his dying lord, for whose sweet sake that glorious badge he wore, and dead as living ever him adored. Upon his shield the like was also scored, for sovereign hope which in his help he had. Right faithful true he was in deed and word, but of his cheer did seem too solemn sad. Yet nothing did he dread, but ever was adrad. Upon a great adventure he was bond, that greatest Gloriana to him gave, that greatest glorious queen of Fairyland, to win him worship and her grace to have, which of all earthly things he most did crave. And ever as he rode, his heart did yearn to prove his puissance in battle brave upon his foe, and his new force to learn. Upon his foe, a dragon horrible and stern. A lovely lady rode him fair beside, upon a lowly ass more white than snow, yet she much whiter, but the same did hide under a veil that wimpled was full low, and over all a black stole she did throw, as one that inly mourned. So was she sad, and heavy sat upon her palfrey slow. Seemed in heart some hidden care she had, and by her in a line a milk-white lamb she lad. So pure and innocent as that same lamb she was in life and every virtuous law, and by descent from royal lineage came, of ancient kings and queens, that had of yore their sceptres stretched from east to western shore, and all the world in their subjection held. Till that infernal fiend with foul uproar forewasted all their land, and them expelled, whom to avenge she had this night from far compelled. Behind her far away a dwarf did lag, that lazy seemed in being ever last, or wearied with bearing of her bag of needments at his back. Thus as they passed, the day with clouds was sudden overcast, and angry Jove, an hideous storm of rain, did pour into his lemon's lap so fast, that every wight to shroud it did constrain, and this fair couple eke to shroud themselves were fain. Enforced to seek some covert nigh at hand, a shady grove not far away they spied, that promised aid the tempest to withstand, whose lofty trees, clad with summer's pride, did spread so broad that heaven's light did hide, not pierceable with power of any star. And all within their paths and alleys wide, with footing worn and leading inward far, fair harbour that them seems, so in they entered are. And forth they pass, with pleasure forward led, joying to hear the birds' sweet harmony, which there enshrouded from the tempest's dread, seemed in their song to scorn the cruel sky.